guys, welcome back to today's episode. And I don't know, today feels like vibe on vibe on vibe. And it's because I have my own person with me. If you see this girl, you think that me, I'm older than her. Trust me. She's older than my nyash. She's older than me. But I mean, those people that she doesn't grow old. Birago. Welcome to today's episode, Birago.
Thank you.
It's nice having you here.
Thank you so
You're always
much.
looking cute.
Aww.
I feel like it's intimidating to see you because
Hey.
yeah, probably like I'm 22, but when people will see me, they might think that you're probably like younger than me. Like I'll be looking old and you still look young.
It's genes. That's how everybody in my family is.
Yeah, I think your family are all like cute and all. How's the week been?
Everything is fine. Small we did.
Making more money.
Hey.
Oh, Birago is a business person. They love money, business, enjoyment. You don't joke with any of that.
That is life and God.
I think one of the things I like about you is that you are very, very. I think we have something that's very, very similar, like free spirited.
Yeah.
Like it's not nonchalant per se, but like let's move with the vibe.
Life is short. Be yourself. Enjoy life.
Yes, I think I chose the perfect topic to talk to her about. You're going to be talking about instincts, intuitions, not giving two fucks and all that. And I think when I was thinking about who to call, it happened to me that you were there. I'm like, Birago doesn't care about anything. I mean, she's just living her life. Why don't I just contact her? And then, luckily, you're here.
Yes. Thank you for
nice
inviting me too.
Anyways, so how's everything been? I mean, when I knew you, it's not like when I knew you. We actually used to sing in the same church, right?
Yeah.
Not used to, we still like to sing.
Yeah.
And then there was a time that I was worried about the fact that I wore a dress that had like a
Spaghetti strap.
yeah, and they were like, you can't wear spaghetti. But then again, I saw Birago come to church, and she's like wearing something that she's wearing the opposite of what they said I shouldn't wear. I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, I feel like one of the things about you is that you really care about what people say.
As long as I'm comfortable, forget. I really don't. To a level, I feel like sometimes in life you should do what makes you comfortable. But growing up too, I realized that first impressions also count.
Okay.
But generally, I'm somebody who doesn't really care about what people say. Generally,
But sometimes I feel like sometimes you need to care. Is it all the time that you don't care? Or
it depends. For example, with the dress thing you're
Yeah.
talking about, my dad is a pastor, so every day I'm having problems with my dad about my dressing because yeah, a pastor's daughter, society,
yeah.
and I feel like society, whatever you do, society is gonna say something
Exactly.
about it. Like
Exactly.
whatever you do, like they are dragging you about something he said.
Yeah.
Someone will say the same thing, and we'll just go scot-free. But because of maybe the position you are and what you are playing, the role you are playing in the society, and sometimes too, people just talk. So as long as I feel like I'm doing something that is not against my morals, something that I feel like is not wrong, because I'm a very religious person.
Yeah.
I really don't mind about what people say. Fine, maybe if adults talk about it, okay, I'll listen, but
Yeah, sometimes people even advise us, but then not every advice is to be taken.
Oh, trust me, if every advice was to be taken, God would have come by now. He would have listened to everything he said.
Yeah. I mean,
as humans, it's not everything. Sometimes you even know it's right, but you don't take it. Unless you experience something, like you have an experience from it. You'll be like, okay, this thing has showed me, so I'm not going to do that again. Sometimes your parents will advise you, oh, when we're younger, oh, don't take a boy. They give you all their reasons and you don't listen. You're going to take a boy, then,
sometimes I think it's the experience to show.
Yes,
you.
experience teaches better than anything, trust me. When you haven't been through something, you do not understand why and how people keep on like talking about it or how people feel about it. But then when you go through it, you understand certain things better.
Personally, I don't even have a problem with people going through it, but sometimes I feel like, what if you go through it and then by the time you realize it's too late? That's type of thing. Like my cousin, I have this cousin of mine that used to like smoking and stuff like that, and I felt like we should just make him do it. But then again, I'm thinking about it. What if he does it for a long period of time, and by the time he realizes it's too late?
Personally,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem if somebody smokes.
Yeah.
but I'm not saying smoking is good. There are certain things we all know what is right and what is not right.
Yeah.
There are most people who smoke know it is not good, but they just find ways to I don't know. It's more like protect themselves. They have a defensive. They always have how to defend what they are doing. For example, some people take weed. I know people who take weed but don't smoke because of the health conditions that come with smoking. So sometimes something like smoking, there are certain things that we know are wrong. For example, people are saying don't have unprotected sex everywhere. You know it's wrong, but you tell somebody, they find a way to
justify.
Yes, to justify whatever they are doing. In the end, if they have AIDS, it's a very bad end point, but they knew it was wrong. So sometimes there are certain things you are not sure about it. There are certain things you don't know. You're not sure. It's not like it's necessarily wrong. It can end up in something bad. It can end up in something good. But there are some things they are just not good. If you are lucky, you go scot-free. But sometimes, most of the times, it doesn't end well.
But I think we have all gotten to a point in our life where we have seen the truth, but we have decided to turn a blind eye to the truth.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about right now. Like everybody, everyone.
And I feel like whenever, all the times that I turn, let's even talk about red flags in every aspect. All the time, all the instances where I tried to turn my eye against it came back to me. Like it cost me. So like I've seen that.
My favorite color was red.
So I've seen that this is a red flag, but then I have, for some funny reason, decided to close my eyes and say, no, it's a green flag. But then whenever I did that, it came like it shot back at me to hurt me.
You know, when you like the idea of someone, you sometimes you feel like this person has the potential to become this kind of way, a certain way. It blinds you. And sometimes so it's like you feel like, oh, you are overthinking. And when you trust someone to a level, you feel like, okay, maybe you are actually thinking things too much, or this person will not do that. It's a coincidence, or it's just happening. So sometimes too, sometimes we need to experience certain things. And I feel like with red flags you're talking about, before there are some red flags I used to like ignore. But since I ignored it, and it was the reason why I got into certain circumstances, right? I'm not going to ignore it again. If I ignore it again, then I'm the foolish one.
And I feel like when it comes to instincts or your intuitions, we undermine it a lot.
Yes.
We undermine, because I have had this feeling where I knew that this was wrong. This is going to turn out bad. But then, for some reason, I'm overthinking. And I just don't know why, but most of the time I feel like I'm just overthinking. But then I realized that I was not overthinking. This is really what it really is. And then it always turned out that it wasn't.
Okay. Well, knowing me, I'm quite like, I have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people, but I don't trust easily. That's me. Even though like I have friends all over, you really hear I've done this. I'm with this person because I don't trust easily. So personally, instincts are something that I don't play with. Yes, I don't play with, because I'm very hard on myself. If a situation is to happen, I blame myself than blaming the other person. So it's like if, for example, something is to happen and I was having a feeling about it and it happens, I keep punishing myself so hard that it's not going to happen again. And I feel like it's even been affecting me with relationships with like the opposite sex and all of that. Sometimes people are genuinely not what you think maybe they are up to, but because of past experiences, you feel like, hey, I've seen some before. So like you just shut them even before
I think
they
when it
start.
comes to sometimes I feel like we should trust our instincts. But then again, sometimes our instincts are not always right.
Yes.
It's a past experience that
sometimes
triggers.
it's like more like PTSD. Like you've seen this thing again. Like it's sometimes we are just being paranoid, but sometimes too, especially with things that we haven't experienced. Sometimes you can meet somebody and it's like something about you, something is just telling you something is off.
Yeah.
You can't really pinpoint what exactly it is, but trust me, you need to trust your intuition, because I feel like if you overlook it and something is to happen, trust me, you're not going to forgive yourself. Me personally, I wouldn't forgive
You're
myself.
going to be very, very, very hard on
Yes,
yourself.
I'm always hard on myself because, hey, who punished me? I punish myself. Me, yeah.
And then I, just like you were saying, I feel like sometimes we just create this imaginary intuition that is not like what we're talking about.
Yeah. For
We just
example,
create it.
some people will think about something or someone so hard that they take it into their dreams.
Yeah.
When they're sitting there, they start creating scenarios. So I feel like as a person, you should learn to meditate. Like sometimes just be quiet, meditate, and try to concentrate on like other something particular. Maybe if you are pondering over something, concentrate on just that. Sometimes too, you have to like also not pay too much attention on a particular thing. If it's, for example, if maybe you feel like, oh, I like this boy, I feel like we're going to make a good couple. Like, you start thinking too much about it right now. It's like something in you is telling you that, oh, he's much made from heaven and this. Trust me, you are creating scenarios in your head. It's not your gut. Free your mind. Think of other people. Do other stuff. If it will happen, it will happen. Do you get it? But like, if you are around a person and it's like something is just telling you that be careful. Just pay much attention to it, but don't be too like, yeah, like don't.
I feel like we as Christians, I know of particular people that before anything will happen, it comes to them as a dream. You have that?
Yes.
And I'm like really scared. I'm like, people do not even believe in like God and Christianity and stuff, but like that gives me that
I'm a very religious person, yeah, and there are some people. When I pray a lot and those things, I dream. Sometimes maybe something's to happen. Like I have dreams about it. Sometimes, unfortunately, maybe I might not remember when I wake up. But then when I start praying, then like I start recalling. Sometimes when I'm making a serious decision about life, I don't go to people. I pray. I'll be sitting there, then it's like what I'm thinking, I'm pondering about, what I'm supposed to do, I start reflecting on it. Yeah, so those things work.
Yeah.
And sometimes the Holy Spirit talks to us.
He always does.
The Holy Spirit talks to us. Trust me,
ways.
when you're very worried about something and you pray, and you have a discerning like spirit, trust me, the Holy Spirit will talk to you.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit talks to us.
Whenever I'm stressed.
It's just that people just don't know the difference. And honestly, I don't know how to like explain, but there's always a difference. Like the Holy Spirit does talk to us, and sometimes the voices in our head and all of that. So yeah.
But how do we even differentiate that it's God talking to us, or it's the devil, or it's myself making it up?
Jenny, I don't think I'm the right person to
say that.
Sometimes, even as a Christian, it's very difficult for me to tell. But then I feel like the times that I know. And there are certain times I know that, it is my mind playing with me. I really want to do this thing. That's why it's telling me it's not the Holy Spirit. But I don't think I'm in the right position to tell how you would know the difference. I'm not, I beg you.
But,
I'm not in the right position.
I feel like one of the things about us is our life just shouldn't always be about intuition. One of the things I read was that intuition is not real. It's something that you make, a claim that you make without evidence. Like you have a strong feeling that comes with it, that you know that this person is lying. Like someone is saying something to you, you're like, the person is lying. But you don't really have any evidence or backings to really prove that this thing is really true.
So with maybe situations like that, I feel like you don't have to attack the person. Just be careful. Like, I feel like in life, Jennifer, it's not everything that you have to talk about. Me, that's why I say I can be friends with everybody in this world. Because, you see, friends, when I say friends, like, I can be cool with everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the people I tell, like, my stuff to, they're not even more than 5. But look at the people that I know. I have people I go out with, like, we chill.
Yeah.
They don't know shit about me. They don't know anything going on in my life. And it's fine. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying there's something wrong with them, no. But all I'm trying to say is that, like, you don't necessarily have to know someone and you let them know everything going on in your life.
But
or
I feel like if you don't listen to people, if you don't have people's opinion in your life, you can do things that you're not supposed to do. I feel like you need them sometimes to like redirect your life and shape your life.
Having an opinion in life people having an opinion from people in life is very important, as you're saying, but it shouldn't be from just anybody. You said maybe some people lie. Let me give you an example. If I meet someone right now, I feel like, oh, she's a nice person, then I'm very like observant. Then maybe she's talking, like she talks a lot. I'm not cutting you off because you talk a lot, because in the end, unko come and want you've not said anything about me. Yeah. So yeah, you talk a lot, but I'm very careful of the kind of conversations I'm having with you. I'll just make sure I'm not in trouble, or I'm not telling you something that when it gets out there, I would have a problem. Do you get it? So I feel like everybody you meet, you should know how to play with the person or how to handle the person. There's some people, they don't talk. There's some people who are very closed up. And I feel like people who are very closed up, you don't try and invade into their privacy.
Yeah.
You can hang out with them, you can be cool with them, but just give them their space. So I feel like it's everybody, like, know how to prioritize, like, know where to put everybody in your life. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I have a best friend. She knows every single thing like that goes on in my life. And we didn't just get up one day and we said, oh, we are best friends. It's a process. We've known each other since primary. We went to different schools. There was a whole break, but then when we came back close, like in university, this trust didn't just come one day. It's growth. The same way relationships are built. Opposite sex relationships are built. It's the same way friendships too can be built. And sometimes too, it's so fine to be friends with someone for years and not talk to them about certain things. I feel it's normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
So you need people's opinions in your life, but then you don't necessarily need to listen to everybody's opinion.
Oh, yes. Yes. Maybe you I know you have an experience about something. We don't talk on a deep level, but I feel like, okay, Jennifer has better experience with this. I can walk up to you and talk to you about it and listen to what you have to say. Do you get it?
Yeah.
If I only feel safe enough around you, doesn't necessarily. Sometimes we go for advice or we go for opinions from people we are not even friends with. Sometimes it's especially if you're a business person, you have to learn these things. Like, hey, this person is into like your business. She's doing well with this. Sometimes you have to put, like, she's not my friend. No. Or you want maybe somebody to work with you. Yeah. Sometimes you have to put certain things aside. Business is business. Like, you walk out to the person, you talk, you get it. Yeah. But the funny thing is maybe I might talk about money with these people, but even some of my friends who we are very close, I'm seeing every day, they might not know, oh, I'm doing this business. Like, I'm trying to make this move. You get it?
How do you deal with depression and stress when you're in your stress state or when you're depressed? How do you deal with it?
I'm very free spirited, right? Okay. So when I'm depressed, it's like I'm sick. So, for example, with stress, when I'm stressed, I sleep a lot. Like normal stress, I sleep. Like, I like to sleep. Even aside stress, I sleep. But then when I'm very stressed, like normal work stress and all, I rest a lot. But when I'm depressed, trust me, I chill like I'm mad.
For real?
Yes.
When I'm depressed, you chill?
Trust me, Jennifer, any phase in my life, it's like, I chill already, but it's like, this girl, why? She's chilling like Monday to Monday. Trust me, I'm not fine.
For real?
I'm not fine. When I'm fine, I don't want to go out. When I'm fine.
For me, it's right now when I'm depressed.
Trust me, when I'm very fine, right now, I'm out a lot because, like, I work with a bar and a restaurant in Kumasi. That's why I'm out a lot. But previously, especially when I was in school or when I was in my service and all of that, trust me, when you realize that I'm going out, because person, I don't even like nightlife, even though I like going out. Me as a person, I'd rather dress up and go and eat and those things, but chilling, jamming, because I don't drink. I drink, but I don't like alcohol. Yeah. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. So it's like when I go, I'm just there. Like, it's my energy. I'm tired. Yeah. When I'm depressed, hey, I chill like I'm mad.
For real?
It distracts me. That's me.
I feel like when you're...
That's my coping mechanism.
Yeah, when you're... Everybody has everything, them different things that work for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people like you, when you're depressed, you're all over, you're happy.
Yeah, and some people say when they're depressed, they don't talk to people. They don't want to see.
When I'm depressed, I'm just in isolation.
Do you know why I do that? Because I don't get the point. Why should I sit in the room, cry continuously, thinking over something I can't solve. Most of the times, it's things I can't solve.
I feel like even though there are things that you can't solve, there are things that really bothers you.
And when I'm not fine, I don't talk to people about it. That's me. When I talk about things like, I'll be like, something is bothering me. Trust me, it doesn't touch me. Like, I'm not bothered. But when something is really, like, hurting me, sometimes for, like, 2 months, even my best friend doesn't know that, like, I'm going through something. The time I'll tell her about it, that means, like, it's really, like, gotten to a point, like, I need someone to talk to. Yeah.
I feel like just find a mechanism that works for you whenever you're
personally going out, because I don't get the point. Why should I stay indoors then? I'd rather go out with people, talk, have fun.
It's weird because if you're really, really depressed,
then maybe I've not been that level of depressed before.
Because I've been in a state where whenever I'm not myself, I don't have the energy to make videos, whether TikTok, wherever. I don't have the energy to associate myself with anybody. I'm just in my room. Even though I appear as a very tough person, I could literally cry my eyes out.
So let me tell you this.
And I feel like personally, crying makes it like relieves me because I don't have the energy to share my opinions.
So let me tell you this story.
Yeah.
There was this boy I liked, right? Okay. And I don't know what it was for him. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was too much for me, and he disappointed me. It wasn't a relationship, but he disappointed me.
It wasn't a relationship, but he disappointed me.
Yeah, but he disappointed me. Jenny, I was so hurt, Not because he disappointed, but because, like, the level of trust I had for him, even as a friend, I felt like he had, like, really let me down. Okay. And just as I'm saying, I don't really, like, put my all in things. I don't put my heart in things, so... Yeah. But, like, I had put so much, like, I let my guard down. Jenny, it was... At dawn, I cried till like the next morning. That evening, I went for a party. I dressed up and went for a party. I can show you videos after. I went for a party. And that party, I think I had fun than any party I've been to. The way I danced, the way I had fun, taking pictures, taking videos. When I went back to my room, I went to cry and I slept. Yeah, so that's how I am. That's how I am.
I feel like one of the things about us is that we overthink. Listen, do you know how I'm able to... It's weird. This is wrong, but let me show you something. This is how I differentiate overthinking from my intuitions or my instincts. I feel like whenever I perceive something, and then whatever I perceive happens to come to pass, I feel I put that as instinct. And whenever I feel like the thing that I perceived wasn't really what it is, I put that as overthinking. So, like, I feel like probably I was just overthinking the situation.
Sometimes there are certain things we just don't find out, but you were not overthinking. And sometimes there are coincidences. You were overthinking and it happened. You're also a Christian.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're also a Christian. Mm-hmm. As a Christian, I'll just advise you that these little prayers actually work. When you're confused or anything, like, just say a prayer. Like, oh God, like, just say a prayer about your confusion. Trust me, you will get out of the situation. You would not know how, but God is going to find a way. We are going to get out of the situation.
But what do you think causes us to overthink?
Some of us are paranoid. Some of us have trust issues. Some of us, we've had similar experiences. Some of them, we've seen people go through. It's things we hear, things we see, things we have also been through. So it's nobody's fault, especially in this generation. We are very messy as a generation. So.
But do you think overthinking also... let's say if I overthink, do you think it affects people around me?
Sometimes it does.
How?
Me personally, sometimes I feel like I'm never going to stop overthinking. I think I'm working on reducing how I overthink, but I'm not going to stop because personally it protects me as a person.
How does it protect you?
I don't easily open up about certain things.
There's like I've basically always been defensive. You can't be your true self if you're always overthinking.
It takes time. I'm not gonna lie. It takes time. Jenny, have you ever had me be in a relationship with somebody before? Have you? Like, it takes time. Do you get it? Like, it takes time. I feel like every day I use my best friend in a nice relationship. I remember when we started, like, coming close all over again, she used to complain. I don't call her. I don't talk about certain things. Like, she feels like I just say it as a passing comment. She realized that I'm that kind of person. It takes time. Right now, like, she doesn't even need to ask. Do you get it? So, like, I feel like we are all different. So sometimes we should have patience with people we meet. Do you get it? when you meet somebody.
Sometimes it feels like a burden. I actually used to be I was always overthinking things that are not even it. That's what I was thinking about it. But later on, I happened to like grow out of it, and then I happened to encounter someone who used to overthink, and I now understand why people cannot handle people that overthink, because sometimes it feels like a burden. Like this person is really a genuine person, but because I'm overthinking, I happen to put a person in a state that they are always in a bad.
Yeah. And it's
position.
true. Like sometimes in my mess situations up.
Yeah.
Because personally for me, there are people who genuinely maybe really liked me, but because of my attitude, always overthinking things. That's why I said personally, I feel like I'm working on myself in regards to that. Like I'm trying to find a balance. Because sometimes honestly, it's just a coincidence. Sometimes you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like just believe them when they say something, especially when it's the first time it has happened or it's the first time something like that has happened. But you also have to be careful. Don't be too, okay, he said this, so is that. Like we should try and find the balance. Like
I feel like what you're saying is true. You should always be careful. Just that you don't know.
You just don't know. Like just don't know. And me, I always like people who it takes time to build trust.
Okay.
Because we met. You're a nice person. I'm a nice person. The vibe is, if you have to rely on vibe, because the vibe is good, you are just automatically trusting a person. Trust me, you would always be hurt for no reason. No, you are hurting yourself. And in this generation and I'm not responsible, people don't even take accountability for a lot of things. Exactly. Trust me, you will hurt yourself. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I hurt myself so bad. Like, I felt like, I trust this person so much, so, he wouldn't do that to me. In the end, he'll tell you, I didn't tell you to. You say, I didn't say this.
I didn't say that.
Yes, so don't always think, okay, because the vibe. No, take time.
So everything should be intentional. Everything that happens should be, don't assume.
Yeah, personally, assumption, it's not for me.
I think some of the evidence of, if people do not even know that they overthink, I feel like some of the few ways that you can identify that you overthink is when you always want to bring up uncomfortable situations, or when you're always thinking of a negative outcome. Like probably you're with somebody and every little thing that happens, you want to think about the worst scenario that could come out of the situation.
Yeah, and I feel like anybody like that, including myself, please deal with it before you get into a relationship or anything. Because you're not just worrying yourself, but you're worrying the other person. Because they also have feelings. I mean, especially if the person is honest, if the person is genuine, it's like every time you're bringing the negative, it makes it difficult, especially if someone is putting so much effort into whatever you guys are having. So, especially the girls, please, if you are not done healing, don't come and worry anybody's son, or don't come and stress anybody's son. Because men too have feelings. So, men just don't talk about so many things they go through. Because imagine always, you're with this girl, you're talking to this person, but when a girl does it, she expects the man to feel is normal.
I think I've been doing that as well.
Me. Number one. And I'm working on that. Like, I feel like I can't enter a relationship with that thing in my mind.
Yeah.
Right now, if I see a man I'm talking to you, I see certain things, I don't even ask you. Then I put something in my head. And I realize that, no, I'm even worrying myself. Because, sometimes it's not as it is, but because I'm overthinking. So I feel like deal with these things, heal. Heal from whatever you've been through. And also don't always give people the benefit of the doubt. But be careful too.
Yeah, exactly. And I also feel that one thing about overthinkers is that they always blame themselves. They are always hard on themselves. Something has happened. The person didn't, let's say something happens to me or whatever. I really didn't cause the thing, but because I'm an overthinker, I happen to put the blame on myself a lot. You are so hard on yourself.
That's true.
You cannot.
And every time,
forgiving yourself is difficult.
Every time, if I am in a situation and I'm to blame somebody a little, that means whatever you did must be really, because I'm always blaming myself for everything. Yeah. Hey, even if I didn't go, this wouldn't have happened. If I didn't, do you get it? Yeah. And I said it helps me because next time I'm careful. I'm extra careful. But sometimes if you're extra careful, you ruin things. Sometimes you have to. I feel like even these things, you just don't know. Yeah, pray. Yeah, pray about every little thing. Right now, pray about every little thing. Because I don't want to stress somebody, and I don't want to stress myself, and I want to be happy. So
Yeah. One of the things I also have come to understand is that it shouldn't always be about instinct or intuition. You should have knowledge. You should have
Yes.
purpose.
Yes.
One of the things my boss was telling me at work is that sometimes he can be there and then some people will come to him and say that, hey, wait, like people are telling him how to do this job, and then he listens to them and then
They have no idea.
then he listens to them rant, and then he will tell them A, B, C, D, because he knows what he's doing. He knows his purpose. And he says that if you don't have knowledge and you don't build yourself or you don't have knowledge, people are always going to be on you. People are always going to come on you because unimni aware. What I say? It's like you're talking about something, but you don't have in-depth knowledge on it. Someone will just come from nowhere and just come and say rubbish. But because you don't have in-depth knowledge, you are going to be intimidated. So you should always make sure that you have like this purpose and this intent alongside with your instinct.
Yeah.
Make sure you are really, really equipped and knowledgeable so that you can have like your facts running through.
Yeah, and with what you are saying, there are certain things that instincts do not come there. There are certain things
Like?
you don't. You go to the hospital, the doctor says something, diagnoses you, and you're like, your instincts are telling you. You have no idea about medicine, auntie. So where does it? Sometimes maybe about a certain field. There are certain things people go to school, learn about it, and even it's not even about just working. There's a situation at hand. You don't know the story. You've listened to just one side, or you've listened to somebody say something. You just say the person is lying, but you have no knowledge. You have nothing just because you feel your instincts. You have to be sure. You have to know what you are saying. If you are feeling that way, don't loud it. Keep quiet. Be sure before you talk. Be sure before you talk. Else you'd always blame people for what they've not done.
And then
you'd
have to
always
apologize for something
and you'd
that-
always pick stuff you cannot do and disgrace yourself. And disgrace yourself. Some people feel like, okay, because I go out a lot, I know people, I can do events. So when somebody's doing an event, they're sitting there criticizing them. Charlie, it is not like that. It's not just going out. I know people who don't even have like the social media crowd. They don't have crowd, but they can pull up an event. Do you guys say? Because maybe they are good at it. So that's an example. So I feel like you should sometimes have knowledge about certain things. Just as I was saying, don't always say your instincts. If you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. You can't.
I mean, basically,
It's like going to write an exam and saying you're going to write it with your instincts.
Your instinct.
Hey.
I was reading somewhere, it said that instinct is like you build instincts to intuition. So like instinct is like something happens, you react to it naturally. You don't have control over it, you react to it. But then your intuition becomes the building up of the instinct where you are back, you meditate on it, think about it,
Yeah.
this. So intuition is a bigger form of like instinct.
I feel you should work with your intuition than your instincts because instincts can make you overreact. It can make you jump into conclusion. Mostly intuition is a build-up. Like, you've seen it for like a couple of times. Like, you have, at least, you have a point. Instincts, you can just get up and disgrace yourself.
Yeah.
But intuition is like, sometimes you might not be right, but you would have a point. Like, you're not just jumping into conclusion. So, just from the explanation you gave, I feel then you should deal with your intuition.
I feel like...
And it's not every time you have to talk about certain things. It's not every time. Like, especially the ladies, we should learn, like, it's not every time. Sometimes overlook certain things. Nobody's perfect.
Overlook. Sometimes overlooking things could
I said
cost you.
certain things.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how to explain, but sometimes you should learn to overlook. Some people like when you talk about everything, it becomes like you are nagging. And on our side, it's not like that. We feel a certain way, but men don't like that.
But I feel like most of the times...
It's not even men. It's not even men. Trust me, even when you and your friend, sometimes your friend is always pinpointing something out. It could be an instinct. It could be something she's proud of. But if it's continuous, it becomes overwhelming. Like, girl will crash. She likes complaining. She might also be feeling a certain way. So we should learn to overlook certain things. And we should know people for who they are and know how to handle them.
I feel like one thing about intuition and this whole thing is about being aware of yourself and being confident in yourself. In the sense that you know you. Like, it's like, one of the things about me is that I always want to reassure myself. Whenever something is happening, I feel like it's really my intuition or whether instinct or whatever. I feel like I really need to constantly remind myself that whatever I'm doing is right. So that no one's objection or no one's idea pops in. Like, I could bring something that I know that is very, very, like, sometimes I could be doing something that I know that is very, very right. But someone who doesn't really have an idea of whatever I'm trying to do or my purpose comes from behind and it's like, what you're doing is not right, it might fail, there's no sense in it. What I do is to sit down and think about it again and then reassure myself that I'm right. Like, you can have 10,000 people there and everybody's like, you're wrong, but one person is saying that you're right. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is, they're really wrong. I don't even understand my thing.
So many people are giving very negative reviews about something. Maybe wear a particular dress. 10 people come. 9 people are saying it's not nice. One person said it's nice.
Yeah.
Because you want to wear the dress, it's nice. Are you serious?
But sometimes they could all be wrong.
No.
Haven't you been in class where the teacher asked something?
That's there, but Jennifer, with life situations,
it's different.
People really don't care about people. Put it in your head that, trust me, nobody really cares about anybody. Me, that's why I don't care. Because I feel like nobody's watching me. Like, do your thing. So if you're doing something and everybody is telling you that this is wrong, pay attention to it. Pay attention to it.
I feel like the way I'm saying do your thing, that's sometimes it's passion. Like, you can have passion for something, but that thing doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do it.
Sometimes you know what you have seen. You know what you want. So, let me give for my business. When I started, everybody didn't have hope in like what I was doing. People were not seeing what I am seeing. But you see, that's different. Some people have done it and it has worked for them. So I feel like I can do it and I can add some, I can remove some, it will work for me. But sometimes too, there are some things, Jennifer, Enfa. Like Enfa. And yeah, you should know that people don't really care about you that much. They'll give an opinion and they'll pass. But if it's becoming negative, that means there's a problem with what you are doing. There's a problem with what you are doing. If you are the only person seeing the positive in one thing, if people are giving good opinions, people are also giving bad opinions, that's normal. But everybody's saying good stuff, bad stuff about it. Trust me, you're being delusional.
Yeah. Anyways, guys. So then I feel like basically, if you're a Christian person, believe you and me. I always believe it.
And
pray. Prayer. I feel like one of the things about me is everything. Do you listen to Apostle Salma?
Not really.
You should, like, if you are in your depressed state, you are worried, you are confused about something, listen to Apostle Salma.
Oh yeah, and about the depression, please. When you jam, it won't go. So please pray. Like God is still there.
Meditate on whatever you are depressed about. Really,
meditation is very good.
Yeah, knowledge about it, and believe yourself. If you think that something is right, go for it. But if you know it's wrong, don't lie to yourself. But I feel like just believe your instinct, trust yourself, talk to God, and look for ways that work for you.
Yep.
And then work according to that. Anyways, it was nice having you here. I really love this conversation.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope that a lot of people are being inspired and have knowledge about it. See you next time. Don't forget to like, share,
comment,
subscribe.
and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.